Socrates, one of the most influential figures in Western philosophy, lived during a time of great political and intellectual transformation in ancient Athens. Though he left no written records of his own, his thoughts and teachings have been immortalized through the works of his students, particularly Plato. Socrates' method of inquiry, his commitment to ethical living, and his pursuit of wisdom have left an indelible mark on the history of human thought. This essay explores the profound life lessons Socrates imparted, examining how his ideas about knowledge, virtue, justice, and the examined life continue to resonate in our contemporary world. In the bustling streets of ancient Athens, Socrates could often be found engaging his fellow citizens in deep conversation, challenging their assumptions, and urging them to seek greater understanding. His approach to philosophy was not merely theoretical, but deeply practical, aiming to cultivate a life of virtue and wisdom. Socrates' famous dictum, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing," encapsulates his belief in intellectual humility and the relentless pursuit of truth. Socrates' impact on Western philosophy cannot be overstated. His methods of questioning, now known as the Socratic Method, become foundational in education and critical thinking. His ethical teachings, emphasizing the inseparable link between knowledge and virtue, provide a framework for moral development that remains relevant today. Through his trial and eventual execution, Socrates demonstrated a profound commitment to his principles, leaving a legacy of courage and integrity in the face of adversity. This essay delves into the timeless lessons from Socrates' life and philosophy, offering insights into his methods, beliefs, and their enduring significance. By examining key aspects of his teachings, such as the importance of self-examination, the pursuit of wisdom, and the role of the philosopher, we can uncover valuable guidance for leading a meaningful and examined life in the modern era. Socratic wisdom continues to inspire and challenge us, urging us to think deeply, live ethically, and strive for a greater understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Socrates lived in Athens during the 5th century BCE, a time of political turmoil and intellectual flourishing. The city-state was transitioning from its golden age under Pericles to the instability of the Peloponnesian War. Amidst this backdrop, Socrates emerged as a key figure in the development of Western philosophy, challenging the norms and beliefs of Athenian society. Importance of Socrates in Western philosophy. Socrates is often considered the father of Western philosophy due to his profound influence on subsequent thinkers. His methods and ideas were preserved through the works of his students, especially Plato and Xenophon. Socrates' emphasis on ethics, virtue, and the pursuit of knowledge laid the groundwork for many philosophical traditions. Brief overview of Socratic life lessons. Socrates' life lessons revolve around the importance of self-examination, the pursuit of wisdom, and living a virtuous life. His teachings encourage critical thinking, ethical behavior, and intellectual humility. These lessons remain relevant today, offering guidance on how to lead a meaningful and examined life. Chapter 1: The Socratic Method. Description of the Socratic Method. The Socratic Method involves a dialectical process of questioning and answering to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate ideas. This method is characterized by asking a series of probing questions to challenge assumption and uncover underlying beliefs. Importance of questioning and dialogue. Through questioning and dialogue, the Socratic Method promotes deeper understanding and self-awareness. It encourages individuals to question their own beliefs and consider different perspectives, fostering intellectual growth and discovery. Examples from Plato's dialogues. In dialogues such as Euthyphro, Meno, and the Republic, Socrates employs his method to engage interlocutors in discussions about piety, virtue, and justice. These examples demonstrate how Socratic questioning leads to greater clarity and insight. Application in modern education and critical thinking. The Socratic Method remains a powerful tool in education, particularly in developing critical thinking skills. It encourages students to engage actively with material, think independently, and articulate their reasoning, thereby enhancing their learning experience. Chapter 2: The Pursuit of Wisdom. Socrates' definition of wisdom. For Socrates, true wisdom lies in recognizing one's ignorance. This humility about the limits of one's knowledge is the foundation of philosophical inquiry and personal growth. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. This famous statement captures Socrates' belief that acknowledging one's ignorance is the first step toward gaining true understanding. It emphasizes the importance of open-mindedness and continual learning. Intellectual humility. Socrates' philosophy teaches the value of intellectual humility, which involves being open to new ideas, willing to revise one's beliefs, and recognizing the limitations of one's knowledge. Case studies from historical and contemporary figures. Figures such as Galileo, Darwin, and contemporary scientists exemplify Socratic wisdom by challenging established knowledge and embracing intellectual humility. Their willingness to question and learn has led to significant advancements in human understanding. Chapter 3, The Unexamined Life. An unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates' assertion underscores the importance of self-reflection and personal growth. He believed that examining one's beliefs, values, and actions is essential for leading a meaningful and fulfilling life. Self-reflection and personal growth. Self-reflection involves critically assessing one's life choices and motivations. This process fosters personal growth, helping individuals align their actions with their values and achieve greater self-awareness. Practical exercises in self-examination. Exercises such as journaling, meditation, and structured reflection can aid in the process of self-examination. These practices help individuals gain insights into their thoughts and behaviors, promoting personal development. Modern psychological perspectives. Contemporary psychology supports the value of self-reflection, linking it to improved mental health and well-being. Techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy and mindfulness draw on principles similar to Socratic self-examination. Chapter 4, Ethics and Virtue. Socratic ethics. Knowledge and virtue. Socrates believed that knowledge and virtue are intimately connected. He argued that true knowledge leads to virtuous behavior, and that ignorance is the root of moral failing. The relationship between knowledge and moral action. According to Socratic ethics, understanding what is good naturally leads to doing good. This view contrasts with the notion that people can know the good but choose to do otherwise. Examples from the dialogues. In dialogues like Meno and Protagoras, Socrates explores the nature of virtue and its relationship to knowledge. These discussions highlight his belief in the unity of knowledge and virtue. Comparison with other ethical theories. Socratic ethics can be compared with other moral philosophies, such as utilitarianism and deontology. While these theories offer different approaches to ethics, Socrates' main emphasis on knowledge and virtue provides a unique perspective. Chapter 5, Justice and the Good Life. Socrates' views on justice as presented in The Republic. In The Republic, Socrates explores the concept of justice, both in the individual and the state. He argues that justice involves harmony and balance, aligning each part of the soul with its proper function. Concept of the just man. The just man, according to Socrates, is one who lives in accordance with reason and virtue. Such a person achieves inner harmony and contributes to a just society. Implications for personal and societal justice. Socrates' ideas on justice have implications for both personal conduct and societal organization. They emphasize the importance of virtuous leadership and the alignment of individual actions with the greater good. Modern interpretations and applications. Contemporary discussions on justice often draw on Socratic principles, exploring issues such as human rights, social justice, and ethical governance. Socratic justice continues to inspire debates about the nature of a fair and just society. Chapter 6, The Role of the Philosopher. Socrates' mission and the philosopher's role in society. Socrates saw himself as a gadfly, challenging complacency and stimulating critical thought in Athenian society. He believed that philosophers have a duty to question and provoke, fostering intellectual and moral development. The gadfly metaphor. The gadfly metaphor illustrates Socrates' role in society. Just as a gadfly stings a horse into action, Socrates sought to awaken and motivate his fellow citizens to think critically and pursue virtue. Responsibility to question authority. Socrates' commitment to questioning authority highlights the philosopher's role in challenging unjust or irrational practices. This responsibility to seek truth and justice remains relevant in contemporary discourse. Examples of modern-day philosophers and activists. Figures such as Martin Luther King Jr., and Noam Chomsky embody Socratic principles, using their platforms to question authority, promote justice, and inspire critical thought. Chapter 7. Facing Death and the Immortality of the Soul. Socrates' Trial and Defense, Apology. In Apology, Socrates defends his life and philosophy before the Athenian jury. Calm demeanor and reasoned arguments underscore his commitment to truth and virtue, even in the face of death. Views on death and the afterlife. Phaedo. In Phaedo, Socrates discusses the immortality of the soul and the philosopher's attitude toward death. He views death as a transition to a better state, emphasizing the importance of living a virtuous life. The lesson of courage in the face of death. Socrates' calm acceptance of his fate teaches the lesson of courage and integrity. His example encourages individuals to remain true to their principles, even in the face of adversity. Philosophical perspectives on mortality. Socratic views on death and the soul can be compared with other philosophical and religious perspectives. These discussions provide a broader understanding of mortality and the meaning of life. Chapter 8. Education and Knowledge. Socratic views on education. Socrates believed that education should be about drawing out knowledge and fostering critical thinking, rather than merely transmitting information. His approach emphasizes dialogue and discovery. The metaphor of the midwife, Theaetetus. In Theaetetus, Socrates compares himself to a midwife, helping others give birth to their own ideas. This metaphor highlights his belief in the potential for individuals to develop their own understanding through guided inquiry. Encouraging independent thinking and discovery. Socratic education encourages students to think independently, question assumptions, and seek their own answers. This approach fosters a deeper and more personal engagement with knowledge. Contemporary educational philosophies. Modern educational theories, such as constructivism and experiential learning, draw on Socratic principles. These approaches emphasize active learning, critical thinking, and the development of individual understanding. Chapter 9. Friendship and Love. Socratic views on friendship and love. Lysis Symposium. In dialogues like Lysis and Symposium, Socrates explores the nature of friendship and love. He views these relationships as central to the pursuit of wisdom and the development of virtue. Role of love in the pursuit of wisdom. Socrates believed that love, particularly the love of wisdom, philosophy, drives individuals to seek truth and beauty. This passionate pursuit is a key aspect of the philosophical life. Platonic love and its modern interpretations. Platonic love, as described by Socrates, involves a deep, non-sexual bond that inspires mutual growth and the pursuit of higher ideal. This concept continues to influence contemporary understandings of love and relationship. Building meaningful relationships. Socratic views on friendship and love offer insights into building meaningful and supportive relationships. These principles emphasize mutual respect, shared values, and the pursuit of common goals. Chapter 10. Legacy and Influence. Socrates' impact on Plato, Aristotle, and Western philosophy. Socrates' influence on his students, particularly Plato and Aristotle, shaped the course of Western philosophy. His methods and ideas became foundational elements of philosophical inquiry. Influence on later philosophical movements, Stoicism, Skepticism. Socratic principles influenced later philosophical movements, such as Stoicism and Skepticism. These schools of thought drew on Socratic ideas about virtue, knowledge, and the examined life. Socrates in popular culture and literature. Socrates' legacy extends beyond philosophy into popular culture and literature. His life and ideas have been depicted in various works, highlighting his enduring relevance and appeal. Continuing relevance of Socratic lessons today. The lessons of Socrates remain pertinent in contemporary society. His emphasis on critical thinking, ethical behavior, and intellectual humility continues to inspire individuals and shape modern thought. Socrates' life and philosophy offer timeless lessons on wisdom, virtue, and the examined life. His teachings encourage critical thinking, ethical living, and the pursuit of knowledge. Personal reflection on Socratic wisdom. Reflecting on Socratic wisdom involves considering how these principles apply to one's own life. It encourages individuals to engage in self-examination, pursue continuous learning, and strive for virtue. Call to action for applying Socratic principles in daily life. Applying Socratic principles involves embracing intellectual humility, questioning assumptions, and living ethically. This call to action invites individuals to integrate Socratic wisdom into their daily lives, fostering personal growth and contributing to a more thoughtful and just society. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Socratic wisdom. If you enjoyed exploring these timeless lessons from the father of Western philosophy, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more insights into philosophical thought. We'd love to hear your thoughts on which Socratic principle speaks to you the most. Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Remember, as Socrates taught us, the pursuit of wisdom is a lifelong journey. See you in the next video.